Chip is a guy who, when I met Chip, I was in high school, like a 10th grader, I believe, and I've always thought highly of Chip. I've always thought he's had a great football mind, and I thought, honestly, if we made more plays, if we'd executed better, I think things would be different. I really feel for Chip. I really do. I've developed a great relationship with him through the time of knowing him, and I always wish him the best, and I'll always believe in him. Like I said, I think he's a great football mind, and some things are out of my control, but the things that were, which was execution on the field, those are the things I wish I could have done better for him.
That was Raiders quarterback Geno Smith talking about the firing of offensive coordinator Chip Kelly and some of the responsibility that he and his teammates should feel for that firing. Obviously, if the Raiders are winning football games and if they're playing well on offense, then coaches aren't getting fired. But now there's been two coordinators that have been fired, and a third assistant that have been let go. And at the end of the day, that comes down to winning and losing and playing well, and that's what the Raiders aren't doing. And as a result, people are losing their jobs. We will get to all of that. Welcome to Vegas Nation First and 10, brought to you by the Las Vegas Review-Journal and Station Casinos STN Sports. I'm Vinny Bonsignore. That's Adam Hill. We cover the Raiders for the Las Vegas Review-Journal and Vegas Nation, and Adam will get right down to it, talking to the players today for the first time since the dismissal of Chip Kelly and trying to get a sense of, okay, can this look any different? Will it look any different? How much different will it look? Is it going to be reflected in results? Let's start with the first. Do you think it's going to look much different, any different, subtly different, with Greg Olson now in charge of the offense rather than Chip Kelly?
Well, I think that the same guys are blocking, so I mean it's not going to
presumably
look that different. Presumably we'll see what happens up front, but you would think they're still going to struggle on the offensive line for at least to some extent, and still has the same plays mostly. You might run them in a different order. You might try to balance it differently in terms of if you have tendencies, they're probably going to be different because it's a different play caller. So it can look different. It's just not going to look dramatically different. As I said, it's not going to be the greatest show on turf Rams busting out there, but it could look different.
Yeah. Will it look better? That obviously remains to be seen. Something that Michael Mayer said to me when I was talking to him really struck me, and he said he put a real emphasis, and he repeated it a couple of times about how important it is for the communication. And it wasn't just me. He wasn't just talking about the communication between he and his teammates, which is critical, obviously, on the football field, especially on the offensive line. But he was talking about, all right, the play caller needs to be specific and really communicate with us. If this is where you want me to run this route, then tell me. And so on and so forth throughout the rest of the lineup and whoever's out there on the field. And I did wonder if there was a implication there that maybe that communication wasn't great under Chip Kelly. We've Chip Kelly, based on his past history, I think you would probably get from players that have played for him. I don't know. I'm maybe not 4-star reviews in terms of the personality, in terms of maybe the bedside manner. Do you think any of that could have been playing into here with the Raiders, and could that have contributed to maybe the lack of cohesion and the inefficiency?
I think they're all factors. And, just for a simple thing, Chip Kelly was in the booth. It sounds like Greg Olson's going to be on the field. He's going to be able to, communicate with guys directly, not have to go through headsets, that sort of thing. So, that specifically is different. Like, that's just one thing. There's a lot of things that could be different. Like I said, in the end, I don't think the talent is here to all of a sudden, turn things around and be like an explosive offense type of thing. But again, little changes could lead to big changes. Actually, trying to think, I had a conversation. I'm trying to think, it was a few weeks ago. It was something different. It was actually, what it was? It was special teams coordinator being let go. It was Tom McMahon when he was let go, and Darius Swinton took over as special teams coach. And I was talking to John Radigan, who's one of their special teams players, who's out there quite a bit. And I said, can you really make big changes? And he's an Army guy, logistics and that sort of stuff that he's into.
Good person to talk to.
And he's very fascinating, but he really gives detailed answers. And one of the things he said is you can't make a drastic change. He's like, but if you make 4, 5, 6, 7 little changes, just tiny changes, that in itself is a pretty big change.
Yeah.
And not that it's going to bring immediate results, but it's different. And I think the Raiders kind of need different right now.
Right, they do. So the Raiders obviously will make their debut under Greg Olson. I say debut. It's like debut.
Yeah.
Tres? How would I say three? Number three?
Oli part 3.
Oli part 3. You thought you liked it before. This is the best ever, but we'll see. But that happens on Sunday, so it's a quick turnaround to the game on Sunday. And to your point, and to everyone's point, really, how many changes can you really make? I mean, you're not going to throw out the playbook. You may add a few new wrinkles here.
I was trying to think. This will be Aiden O'Connell's 6th play caller? I think it is.
Okay, let's just for what's and giggles. Let's name him. It was Josh McDaniels.
Sure.
It was Bo Hardegree. He replaced Josh
and
McDaniels.
Then
Luke Getsy. Then
how soon we forget? I mean, it was just last year.
I know, but
we already forgot.
Who was it?
It was. I'm trying to remember now.
Oh, Scott Turner.
It was Scott Turner.
Scott Turner. So, and he's not a forgettable guy.
He's not.
But the name is kind of forgettable.
We should have had that for sure.
Yeah, Scott Turner was number 4.
And then Chip Kelly, who he technically never called plays for in the season, but he did in the preseason and played with him. So that's 5. And now Greg Olson 6. So it's 6 play callers in 3 seasons.
Right.
For quarterback Aiden O'Connell.
Well, and for different reasons. I was talking to Alex Bachman, and he tried to go back and count all of them. It might have been 11 or 12 for him.
Yeah, for him.
For his career. So you kind of get used to it. But yeah, I mean, and so if that's what Aiden's experiencing, then it is with somebody like a Dylan Parham. Somebody like a Colt Miller. Colt Miller could go back even further. Yeah. This is going to be the second time if he gets out there, which he actually looked pretty good walking around the locker room.
6 in 2 years or 3 years.
It's just completely nuts, and that's really since we're talking about Halloween night. The day before Halloween 2023 was when Josh McDaniels called his last game. So since then, it's been 6.
So just over 2 years.
And just over 2 years. I'm just you don't have to be. I always say Vince Lombardi in these situations. I know some of our older fans know who Vince Lombardi is, but to contemporize it, Bill Walsh maybe or Bill Belichick. You don't have to be Bill Belichick to figure out that's not a winning formula. When you have that constant change, it's just ridiculous. To be honest with you, you're not setting yourself up for success. And I don't know if Scott Turner. I don't know if Greg Olson is going to be the guy moving forward. But whoever the guy is moving forward, for the sake of sanity around here and for these offensive players and to ensure that their heads don't explode with another new playbook, you would hope for their sake that whoever is the next guy is going to be the guy for a little while. A little while around here.
Good luck with that.
A lot of while.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this, because I know the players that I talked to anyway were – they understand, like I said, the responsibility. It's not going to just be coaches that get the axe the next time the axe starts falling. It's going to be the players, let's face it, whether that's Geno Smith, and his future is not secure going into next year. These next 6 games are pretty important for him to ensure that, look, he's got as of right now, the Raiders owe him $18 million of his $26 million contract. That was fully guaranteed at the time of signing, but that means $8 million becomes guaranteed in March of next year, just right at the start of the new league year. $18 million that's not an inordinate amount of money to eat if you just want to move on from your quarterback. So these next 6 games are pretty important for him.
Yeah, for sure. And I've kind of been of the belief for a while now that Geno Smith's future with the Raiders is tied to Pete Carroll's future with the Raiders. Okay. So I think if Pete Carroll's here, Geno Smith is probably here.
Right.
And if Pete's gone, I think Geno's probably gone.
Right. And maybe the only caveat to that is if they draft somebody and they feel like, all right, we'll give them.
You want Geno to be the backup,
or just be the guy that starts the season, maybe like kind of like a Russell Wilson situation with the New York Giants, and this way. But are you willing to pay somebody $26 million to do that when you can actually save $8 million? Just have Aiden Connell be that guy. I mean, he's under contract 1 more year for minimal amount of money.
Can I make a case and just begging here, pleading? Can it be Jameis Winston?
You could do that.
He's the most fun. He's the most fun player ever. And the Raiders fans, and look, us too. We have to watch every game. We need some fun. And Jameis is not going to be your franchise quarterback. He's not going to win a bunch of games.
We thought Gardner Minshew was going to be fun, but I smelled through that from the very beginning.
He's not going to. Jameis isn't going to take you to the playoffs, but he's fun. Like, don't you want fun when you're watching games on Sunday? That could be the bridge guy to me. If you go get him, do something.
Would you worry that Aiden O'Connell would play just well enough for fans to say, just keep him as the quarterback?
Maybe, but
if you draft somebody pretty high, the fans are going to want him, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that player to play
for sure.
All stories for down the road, but I guarantee you we're probably going to be writing those stories here pretty soon. All right, so looking at the Chargers, this is a team that looks a lot different than the team that came through here Monday night, the second week of the season. No Joe Alt anymore. He's down. The Chargers lost both of their tackles, and they're pretty darn good tackles, by the way. Their starting left tackle didn't even make it to the season. He got hurt before the season started. Joe Alt got moved from right to left tackle, and he gets hurt shortly into the season. He's gone. What do you think about this Chargers team that's 7-4, coming off? By the way, they're coming off their bye week, so that helps the Chargers, and they're probably licking their chops. Still smarting over the beatdown that they took against the Jacksonville Jaguars the Sunday before their bye week.
Nothing really went well that day. They couldn't run the ball, couldn't really pass the ball even, and Jaguars made them one-dimensional, and they couldn't really function that much as an offense that day. So, frustrating loss, I think, for sure for the Chargers, who also got beat pretty bad defensively in that matchup. Like they got pushed around, they got knocked around, and I think for sure that's the kind of game where you go into a bye and you're thinking about it a lot, and you're going to want to come out and and show that was a fluke and not indicative of what you really are. I know they've got the Raiders coming to town who they already beat, and the Chargers know they have to win. All these teams in the AFC are kind of right there, bunched up, and everybody expects the Chiefs to make a run still. The Ravens are out of the playoff race, or in the first place in the division, but they could potentially make a wild card run too, tied with Pittsburgh right now. So all these teams are going to make runs, you would think, and win some games. So they're going to have to keep pace. So it's a big game certainly for the Chargers with the Raiders coming to town this week, and I don't think you're going to get any kind of a letdown or a poor performance from the Chargers. I think they'll be ready.
No, I agree with you. From an offensive standpoint, we'll leave it with this. Who do you think becomes the guy that we are writing about on Sunday for the Raiders? I don't think they're going to win at all. But offensively, who's the guy that we're going to say, oh wow, okay, he benefited from the move from?
I would say it's Greg Olson. Is this the one?
No.
I know, but I think that's who you're right about. If it's a very good offensive day, you say Greg Olson did great. If it's not, hey, Greg Olson's the same as Chip Kelly was. So I think that is where the credit or the blame is going to go, no matter what happens in this game. But I think I feel like it's going to be potentially an offensive lineman if we see especially a new one come in
to do better.
If we see new offensive linemen come in and say, okay, that guy, benefited from this or got playing time because of this and stepped up and played well, or maybe one of the rookie receivers.
How much heat is going to be on Brendan Carroll if the offensive line plays really bad again?
I don't know that it can get any hotter.
Well, I mean, I think I agree. Because it's scorching hot right now.
What do you give up, 12
It's
sacks?
scorching hot right now. But I think Pete may have bought himself just a little bit of time by kind of pinning a lot of this on Chip Kelly. Maybe he was right, and that's the thing. We're going to find out if he was actually right or if this is equally a Brendan Carroll problem. And what that might look like if they have another bad day at the office. And I'm not. It's probably going to happen.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it was a explosive, dominant offensive performance from the Raiders this week.
Yeah, so something to keep an eye on. Real quick, we're going to go to our normal segment here with Heidi Fang, our own Heidi Fang, and Chuck Esposito, the race and sportsbook director at Station Casinos STN Sports. And they're going to talk about Thursday football right now.
And joining us now here on the First and 10 podcast, it's Heidi Fang, and I'm joined with the Race and Sportsbook Director from Station Casinos, Chuck Esposito, in for our weekly segment here as we get into what I love. It's almost a tradition for me to lay some kind of action on the Thanksgiving games. I have to admit it. I love the Thanksgiving game, sitting at home, eating turkey, and falling into a deep coma while my parlay crumbles. But I would love to talk to you, Chuck, about the three games that we have on tap. Of course, the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. This one, I believe they're just a 3-point dog in this game that they have on Thursday.
Yeah, first, happy Thanksgiving, Heidi, to you and your family and all the listeners and viewers. I hope everybody has a happy and healthy and fun Thanksgiving. And hopefully your parlays are still live going into the late game on Thursday and possibly the game on Friday. So let's dive into the Cowboys-Chiefs first. Really good matchup. I think the Cowboys coming back from 21 points down against the Eagles really kind of maybe flip the script for them, give them some hope maybe. They're an underdog at home by a field goal right now to the Chiefs. Kind of a tough game for both teams. My guess is there's going to be a lot of scoring here. So this second game, I'd say buckle up. There's going to be a lot of scoring, especially if you're into fantasy football. Play all the offensive people.
Yeah, taking the over on that 52.5, Chuck, as you say it here from your lips to my parlay. Next, we have the Lions and Packers. The Packers right now 3-point underdogs in that one. That one is actually, I believe, the first game on deck. But what do you see here on the Packers and Lions?
I don't blame you. There's a lot of tradition, though, with the Packers and Lions, too, especially the Lions playing on Thanksgiving. I mean, the game opened the Lions a 2.5-point favorite. It's crept up to 3. Big games for both teams. I think you look at Detroit, they're kind of on the outside looking in right now, but they're still the favorite to win the NFC North. Packers, they have losses this year against the Panthers, against the Browns, should have lost to the Cowboys. They tied in that game. So really a big game for both these two teams. And if you're the Bears who don't play until Friday, the good news is that you know that one of these two teams, the NFC North, is going to lose in the early game on Thanksgiving morning.
Right. And, it's be interesting to see how the Packers injuries, because those are piling up, how they affect the game and who will be active and who won't come Thursday. It's a short turnaround for them. And, of course, lastly, we have the Ravens and the Bengals. Joe Burrow making a comeback from that toe injury after going out in week 2. He is going to play. He is going to start, is what I've heard. Right now, 7-point underdogs for the Bengals. I'm thinking maybe they cover if Lamar Jackson plays, the way that this team played in the past couple of weeks, still winning, of course, against the Jets. But it seemed like it was a struggle early on in the first half of that game.
Yeah, he hasn't looked like Lamar Jackson since he's come back from the injury. On the flip side, though, the Ravens have now crept back into first place in the AFC North ahead of the Steelers. So big game for the Ravens, I think, more. You look at the Bengals, no T. Higgins in this game. They are going to get Jamar Chase back. They are going to have Joe Burrow. We'll see what they can do. I think you look for a lot of points in this one, too. But my guess is the first two games you're going to see maybe some divided action. But in this game, I think you're going to see some one-sided play in favor of the Ravens. You just don't know how rusty Joe Burrow might be here. They are catching a touchdown right now. But all three games on Thanksgiving look to be, on paper at least, competitive, good games. Then that leads into the Friday game where we have two teams that are in first place. Not surprising that the Eagles are on top of the NFC East, but it is really surprising that the Chicago Bears currently sit in first place in the NFC North.
And you mentioned that Friday game, Raiders on Sunday. Raiders right now 10-point underdogs. No big surprise. They did make some changes, though, with the offensive coordinator position. Wondering if we'll see a whole lot of Ashton Genty or if we'll see some productivity on their offense in this one. Enough to close in on the 10, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, you look at the Raiders now, offensively, they just haven't been competitive for a number of weeks right now. You hate to see anybody lose their job, but that offense had really struggled. Geno Smith has had some struggles as well. You wonder how long they stay that route right now. You have to get Genty and Bowers involved all the time. Those are two big guys. They're double-digit underdogs to the Chargers. The only dog that is bigger is the Vikings right now, who have a backup quarterback in against the Seahawks. So they are the second biggest dog on the board at 10 as we currently sit.
All right, and that'll do it for this edition, the Thanksgiving edition here of the Vegas Nation podcast with Chuck Esposito. Let's shoot it over back to Vinny and Adam on First and 10.
Our thanks to Heidi Fang, our own Heidi Fang, and Chuck Esposito, the race and sportsbook director at Station Casinos STN Sports. Want to wish everybody a happy and prosperous Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your family and friends. That's what this holiday is intended to be. Be safe. We're going to be back with you guys on Vegas Nation First and 10 Sunday after the game in Los Angeles. Game time is 1 o'clock, 1:05, something right around there. Kickoff is 1-ish. So we'll catch up with you guys after the game, win, lose, or draw, and put our perspective and our spin on what it is that we saw. And I'm as curious as anybody to find out what that actually is going to look at. Adam Hill, happy Thanksgiving.
I'm not going to share my thoughts on Thanksgiving with the people, Vinny.
Really?
I have a lot of thoughts.
Are they good or are they?
No, they're not good.
Is that Thanksgiving not a good, not one of the ones?
I mean, it's become a great time spent with
See what
family,
Mike Vrabel
turkey,
said?
all those things. I think the origins of Thanksgiving are a bit questionable.
Of course. Yeah. But we had nothing to do with that. So we're
going
to
just enjoy and have turkey and pretend like everything's normal. It's great.
That's true.
It's
they asked
great.
Mike Vrabel about it, and he said he goes Christmas, 4th of July, and I want to say Halloween, and he goes then it's a big fall to Thanksgiving.
I don't know about that. I think Thanksgiving you have football. It's
you got good eats too.
Yeah, I think Thanksgiving might be number one.
Ooh, that's saying something.
Yeah,
all right.
It might be.
I'm not going to go quite that far, but I always
Definitely
enjoy
not Halloween.
Halloween.
That's a weird answer.
Yeah, I think he also said St. Patrick's Day, which that's not a bad. But come on, it's Mike Vrabel. What do you? Yeah, exactly. Mike Vrabel, we respect you. St. Patrick's Day is actually pretty darn fun too, if you want to have a little fun. But if you do it safely, we all know what we're talking about. Anyway, and thank you guys so much for the support. We are thankful for your support. Keep hitting the like button, the subscribe button. Keep spreading the word. The numbers are great, and we really appreciate that. Hopefully down the road for you guys, there's some good stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
That would be a nice change of
I'll
pace.
say this. I usually don't like Christmas at all.
Don't?
I don't. I hate Christmas. I also think gift giving is just an awful, awful tradition. However, I have an idea for you out there.
Okay.
If you want a gift, gift of the Vegas Nation digital subscription.
Yes.
What a gift.
Bada bing.
What a gift
Yeah.
to give
And-
25 cents for 3 months.
Yeah, it's cost effective.
Yeah. It's great. Stocking stuffer.
Didn't we do the math
then
on
you
that?
can-
Like, what is it, 8 cents?
Well, you can buy a digital subscription for 3
Yeah.
months for somebody, and then go buy an actual copy of the paper and put it in somebody's stocking. It's a great stocking.
There you
stuffer.
go. And to do that, all you have to do is go to mylvrj.com, mylvrj.com / I always do this, / I don't know if it's, / nation and .com and get your subscription for the next 3 months of a digital subscription to Vegas Nation for one whole quarter. You can get it for yourself. You can get it for yourself and gift it to somebody else. Do the right thing. We're doing that as an appreciation for all of you guys that have shown us such tremendous support, and we truly appreciate it. So on Thanksgiving, there you go, or Christmas. That's the way to go.
Black Friday.
Exactly.
It's easy shopping.
Yeah, you don't have to go battle the lines or anything like that to get the mylvrj.com / nation and get that take advantage of that offer. Until Sunday, enjoy the weekend, the long weekend, some great football, great college football, great NFL football, and we'll see you guys on Sunday.